time we are starting today's topic. Board is clearly visible. Are you able to see this? Whatever is written. Okay. Now starting the topic. So today's topic is what are tokens. So students, tokens are the smallest individual unit. What does it mean? Suppose you are building a house and what is the individual unit to build a house? Obviously, a brick. You will use a brick, right? In the same manner, we make our program by using. Yes, we make our program by using small bricks, small units. Suppose there is any program, and in our program we make these symbols. We make semicolon. We write class. We write main. We write public. Are you all getting it? We write system dot out dot println, and these parentheses also we make. So what are these things? These all are tokens. Are you getting it? Suppose, let me give you one example. There is a sentence. Agra is famous for Taj Mahal. Okay. By the way, current days it is famous for Corona. That is another thing. But Agra is famous for Taj Mahal. So all these words which we have used to make this sentence are words. What do we call them? Words. In the same manner, in program, whatever word we write, whatever symbol we make, these are known as tokens. Okay. Agra is famous for Taj Mahal. You know, this is a word, this is a word, this is also a word, this is also a word, and this is also a word. But there is difference in type of words. What is the difference? Agra, what is Agra? Agra is a city name and it is a noun obviously. Taj Mahal is a noun, is a verb. Famous, what is famous? It is adjective. What is for? This is also some kind of connective which we are using in this sentence. So all words are of different type. In the same manner, tokens are also of 5 types. Means whatever words we will write in our program, in our computer program, so these are of 5 types. What are these 5 types? The first is keywords. What are keywords? So let me discuss about the keywords. And before that, let me tell you all the names of the tokens. Keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, and separators. Okay. Let me switch on the light. I hope you will get a little better view of the board. I hope now it is better. So keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, and separators. Okay. So first is keywords. So we will discuss first of all what are keywords. So students, keywords are the system reserved words. Means they will be used only for the system purpose. They are predefined. You cannot use them in any meaning. You can use them for a particular meaning only. Keywords like class, Class word you will only use when you are declaring a class. You will not use it anytime. Public. Public is also keyword. Whenever you want to declare the accessibility of anything like a function, variable, or a class, that time you will use public. Okay, public, private, protected. Static is also keyword. So there are a particular set of words which is known as keywords. Okay, you can find them easily in the book, and whenever you type the program in the BlueJ, you will see some red colored words. These words are keywords. Okay. Now the second point is keyword. Let me tell you first of all, keywords are also known as system reserved words. Okay, good. Now the second is identifiers. What are identifiers? Identifiers are those words which are declared by us, means we will declare. Switch off the light, please. Okay. Is it okay, Shaurya? Write a little bit large. Okay, I'm writing large, but you just make the full screen and you view in the full screen. So, identifiers. What are identifiers? Identifiers are the names which we give in our program to different things. Like identifiers are also known as variables. We give the class name. So class name is identifier. Function name we can give. Anubhav, I'm speaking, so you listen to the words carefully. And if you will listen the words, then obviously you will understand what is written over the board. So listen carefully. I hope you are getting my voice. Class name, function name, and variable name. And one more thing is there, and that thing is known as labels. So these four things are known as identifiers. Okay, we call them identifiers, we call them variables, and there are certain rules which we have to follow for giving the names to different things like class name, function name, variable name. If you want to keep the names, then you will have to follow certain rules. What these rules are? So just note it down properly in your notebook and listen carefully. The first rule is you cannot use special character. Special characters not allowed in the name. Suppose you are writing your class name Sinchan. Okay. Sin star chan. So you can't make this star in between. Are you getting it? This is not allowed. You cannot use special characters in between. You cannot use special characters in beginning. You cannot use special characters in last. You cannot use any special characters except two special characters. What these two special characters are? One is dollar sign and another is underscore. Let me write the underscore over here. Underscore is mostly used when you want to put a space and you can't use a space in between the name. So that's why we use underscore symbol. So you can write like this, sin space chair, and instead of space we are putting the underscore sign. Okay, I hope you are getting it. Now, second thing, spaces are not allowed. Okay, spaces are also not allowed. Now the third is, what else? Special characters not allowed. Spaces are not allowed. Digits in beginning. Digits are not allowed. Are you getting it? In beginning, digits are not allowed. Means you can you are writing the class name as Shiv. Okay, so you can write Shiv 2. You can write SH2IV. That is also valid. But you can't write 2 Shiv. This 2 you cannot use in the beginning of the name. I hope you are getting it. Okay. So these are some rules which you can't use in identifier names. So these rules are must to be followed. You will have to follow these rules at least. And the most important rule is it cannot be a system reserved word. Listen carefully, students. It cannot be a system reserved word. Means you cannot write your class name as class. Are you getting it? And you cannot write your class name as out. You cannot write your class name as static. Okay. So these are certain rules which you have to follow. And these rules must to be followed in all cases. Either you use class name or you use function name or you use variable name or you use label name. So and it can be of any length. It can be of any length. And the next is, but the important is, whenever you keep the identifier names, these are case sensitive. Why it is case sensitive? Listen. मैं लिख देता हूँ यहाँ पर. These are case sensitive. What does it mean? Listen, students, carefully. Many students listen or they only know case sensitive, but they don't know message retracted. Okay. These are case sensitive. Many of you have heard this word case sensitive, but you don't know the meaning of case sensitive. So listen carefully. Case sensitive means if I'm writing a class name as ABC, then I'm using another word ABC. So these both are different. These both will be different. So this is known as case sensitive. I have used the similar characters, but the case is different. Meaning the case of A is uppercase, and here the case of A is lowercase. So this is the difference. So keep this thing in your mind. So this thing is known as case sensitive. Means in the same program you can have two variables. One is small a, another is capital A, and both will be think as separated, things differently. I cannot understand fourth rule said by Pragya. Okay. Fourth rule is it cannot be a system reserved word. System reserved word means like the keywords, keywords are the system reserved words: static, class, public, protected, private. So these words you cannot use as class name. Like you cannot, suppose you write the class and you can't make the class name as static. Why? You can't make a class static. Why? Because static word is already declared. It is system reserved word. Very good morning, Prashant. You are very late. The time was already given to all the students of 9 o'clock. So these are few rules which we have to follow. These rules are must to be followed, and there are some rules which should be followed. Okay, now I'm telling those rules. If you will not follow, then only confusion will be there, but there will not be any error. Okay, you will not occur any there, and not any error will be occurred. But you should follow those rules. Just like suppose on the road we used to move in the left side. Okay, now you will say what happen if we go to the right side? Okay, nothing will happen. If you will go in the right side, then the person who is coming from the front, he might not understand that who is in front, and definitely you will collide. Okay, your vehicle will be collided, and thereafter you will suffer a lot with a big accident. So this is the problem. In the same way, we must follow some rules. Now just listen carefully. The first is I'm writing it over here. These rules must be followed. Okay, you keep the heading must be followed. And here I'm telling you should be followed. What rules should be followed? The first is class name should always begin with a capital letter. Okay. Like whatever class name you keep, suppose you are writing the class name as Abhishek, then you must write like this, Abhishek. If you want to write the class name as Abhishek Dubey, then obviously Abhishek and Dubey. There should not be any space in between, and the first letter of the second word should be capital. This is known as camel case notation. Repeat 6 points. You are too late, Prashant, already. If you will not come on time, how can I explain everything again and again? Case sensitive, this I told you, a case sensitive means a small letter and capital letter both are separate, both are different. Like you have made a variable by name a, small a. Okay, this is a variable in your program, and you want to call this variable by this name. It is not possible. The capital A will be different. So you can have two variables. These will be counted as two different variables, small a and capital A. So this is known as case sensitive. Case sensitive means different case. This is in lower case, this is in upper case. Simple. Okay, now come to the should we follow rules. In should we follow rules, remember students, class name must begin with capital letter, and if you want to make the class name by joining more than one word, many words, then all the words which you use, the first letter of every word should be capital, and they should not have any space in between. This notation is known as camel case notation. It is known as camel case. I hope you will not see further. So this notation is known as camel माने ऊंट, camel case notation. In this way we write. There are so many notations which are followed by programmers, but this notation is known as camel case notation. Okay. Now the second is, in the same manner, the function name must begin with a small letter. Suppose you want to write the function name as same Abhishek Dubey, then this should be written as Abhishek Dubey. Dubey will be capital, D will be capital. Okay, but it should begin with a small letter. This is the difference. So that's why we can understand the names. Some classes are predefined, you know, some functions are predefined and you want to use them. So how do you use them? You will find all predefined names in the same manner. Okay, you use a function of scanner class next int. So how you write next int? You write next int like this. Next int. So what is next int? Next int is a function which is defined in class scanner. So the n is small and the I of int is capital. So they are following the same notation, camel case notation. Because it is a function, that's why it is beginning with a small letter. And whenever you use a class name is buffer reader. So how you write buffer reader? You write buffer reader like this. Buffer BUFFERED, buffered reader. So B is capital and R is capital. Why this B is capital? Because it is a class. These are some predefined classes, predefined functions which I am discussing with you. Okay, students, now move further. So these rules should be followed. Always keep these things in your mind. Variable name should always be small letter and labels should be with the capital letter. Identifiers we have discussed. Now we will discuss literals. What are literals? Literals are the values. Literals are the values of different types. So how many types of values are handled by Java program? Let's see. Integer literal, integers. You know integers? Integers are the whole numbers. And then floating literals. And the third is Boolean literals. Character literals. After character literals, you know, strings. And null literal. Let's see. I will explain it more. First of all, we will talk about the integers. Integers are the whole numbers like 23, 48, minus 39, okay, minus 1269. So these types of values are integers. They can be either positive or negative. Students, you just give me the comments and please share this video with your friends also so that they can be here live. At the same time, here I'm seeing only few students are here and I'm teaching only to you. I want some more amount of students. So you might be getting the shareable link. So just use that shareable link to send in WhatsApp group and to send on Facebook, and wherever your friends are, you just call. You can call them. Here I'm able to see 18 students. Are there only 18 students in our school in 9th, 10th standard? Approximately more than 200 students are there. I'm seeing here in the comments, I'm seeing the students, and I will talk to you later on, and I will talk to them also who are not coming over here on this platform. Whether you are getting the opportunity to attend a live class and you are not here, you are not attending, and you are doing study. So wonderful it is. Let's see. Integers 23, 48 minus. This type of values are known as integers without decimal point. We have the values and these are known as integers. But many of you don't know how many types of integers are handled by Java. Java handles three types of integers. Three types of. What are these three types of integers? Let's see. Decimals. Decimal are those numbers which we have discussed right now. Here we have discussed these numbers are known as decimals. But it also handles octals and hexadecimals. What are hexadecimal integers? What are octals? So just look at here. Octal, in octals we don't use Aman Mishra. Okay. In octal we don't use this 8 and 9. We only use this 0 to 7, and these integers always written and written prefixed by 0. Suppose you want to write 237. So 237 is an octal. How? If you will put 0 before 0237. This is an octal value. This is not a decimal. If you will remove this 0, then it will become a decimal. Suppose you want to check it in your computer, then what I'm saying, just write a small program and there you write int x equal to 0237 for checking it. Okay. And thereafter you just print the value of x. You will see over the screen some other value like 149 or something, 159 you will get that value. So this is the conversion of this value in decimal. Okay. You will get the conversion in the output. Okay, students. So you should check it. Just write these two statements in your notebook for checking. If you have a computer, just check it. As I have said. Okay. decimals are there, octals are there, and now we will talk about hexadecimal. Hexadecimal values are written like 0x you will prefix. This 0x is only for telling that this is a hexadecimal value. 0x 2f. So 2f is the value. Okay, students? I hope you can understand. So these three types of integers are handled by Java. Okay. Now we are moving to floating values. Floating values are of two types. Okay. Let's see what these two types are. Floating value. The first is normal with the decimal point value, you know, like 4.35 minus 2.397125. This type of values are known as floating value, but it also supports exponents. What are exponents? You can also write, you would have written some values in science like 2 into 10 to the power minus 50. Right? So what is this value? This is also a fractional value. This is also a floating value. How will you write this value in computer? You can write. Trust me, you can write. So how will you write it? It is very easy. 2e. This e can be capital and small both. It's up to you. And thereafter you will write this power. This e stands for exponent. So 2e minus 50. That's it. So you can write this type of value over here in this way, as I have told you. If power is in minus form, then in negative form, then you always put the negative sign after this e. And if the value is negative, then put this negative sign in the starting, in the beginning. So in this way you can write. So there are two types of floating values you can write. Now we will talk about Boolean literals. Boolean literals are only two. One is true, another is false. Both are always written in small letters, and these two are system reserved words. Now you will think, you will be amazed that, sir, you have already told the system reserved words are keywords. But students, three constants are there, three literals are there, which are system reserved. Okay, Pragya, you did not understand hexadecimal. Okay, I will make another video of hexadecimal values. I will make a video for class 7. Okay, for class 7th, I will make a video about hexadecimal, octal, decimal, binary, and these all number system I will discuss in the second chapter. So I will make a video for that and I will tell you. So you watch that video, then obviously you will understand it. Anubhav, sir, we didn't get hexadecimal. Okay, fine. No problem, students. These type of values, I will for these type of values, I will make a separate video for class 7 number system. The chapter name is number system, so you watch that video later on, so you will understand everything. Okay. So here we are discussing these further things. Okay. So Boolean literals are only two, and null also. Null we always write NULL small letters. So these three, 1, 2, 3, these three are system reserved constants. Many times in board exam, this question is used to be asked that tell some words, tell some letters which are system reserved but not keywords. You can't call them keywords. These are system level word values. Okay. Now we move to character letters. Character letters are a single character. Okay, I'm getting it. Character letters is a single character in single inverted comma. It can be of any language of the world, which is declared in Unicode. Because you know Java supports Unicode, so you can write character letters in two ways. Okay, let's see. This small a in single inverted comma is a character. This capital A in single inverted comma is a character. Okay, and you can also write the place value of character letter, but place values are always written in hexadecimal form. So how to write? Just see over here. Backslash U. Backslash U stands for Unicode, and thereafter we write the place value like 2A 22. So this is what? This is the place value of any character. I don't know the character name. Let me take the call, students. Hello, yes sir. Yes sir, बताइए. I'm teaching right now at my home. Oh. Yes, student. So look over here. So this is what? This is a place value. These are characters itself. But this is the place value of character that also you can write in single inverted comma, and then when you will print it, then obviously you will get a character on the output screen. So in these two ways, we can write the character letters. And students, Java supports character 65,536 characters. Almost every language. So the place values are in decimal form 0 to 65,535. And these total character numbers is 65,536 because 0 is also included. Okay. In hexadecimal form, we write them 0 to the first character is backslash u 0000. It is known as null character, and it goes till backslash u f f f f. This is the largest four-digit hexadecimal value, and when you will convert it in decimal form, you will get 65,535. Okay, that you just keep these points in your mind and keep this video safe and watch it again. And when I will make a video on this number system, then watch that video properly so you will understand this point also. Okay. Now we will talk about string. Strings are also values, and this is non-primitive type. Actually, strings are made up of characters only. Any number of characters inside double inverted comma is known as string. Like I have written Abhishek. It is a string value if I will put it in double inverted comma. Okay, students? I hope you understand. Anything you can write double inverted comma, any number of character, and that will be known as string. Okay? Null, I have already told you, NULL in a small letter, it means nothing. So these are the letters. These are letters which I have discussed, and I will discuss some escape sequences also later on. I will make another video especially for escape sequences. And they also come in the part. They are also part of letters, we can say. Now move to operators. What are operators? For operators, we will need a separate video to discuss it. But here I will explain little uh, operators. So the symbols which we use for operations, operations like arithmetic operations. So the symbols which we use for arithmetic operations are known as arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators like plus, minus, multiply, divide, modulus. So these are known as arithmetic operators. These are used for arithmetic operations in computer. And the second is, students, after the class, you just give the feedback of the class in the comment box. These are arithmetic operators and relational operators. Relational operators are six. Less. These are also known as comparison operators. These are used for comparison, so these are also known as comparison operators. Less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, not equal to, and equal to. Okay. For not equal to, we use this exclamation sign and then equal sign. And for equal to, we use double equal sign. Why? Because single equal sign is already we have assigned as assignment operator. So that is known as assignment operator. So there are so many types of operator, almost 7 or 8 types of operators are there. But only few we will discuss over here. And the third is logical operators. Logical operators are used for connecting many conditions. These are and for logical and we use double ampersand sign. This symbol is known as ampersand. So two ampersand symbols we use for AND operation. Second is after this AND we use OR. For operation we use this OR symbol. Two OR sign. Where you will find this character. Many times I have seen students face this problem. Sometimes they make slashes over here. Some people make forward slash, some people make backward slash, but they can't make this OR sign properly. So the OR symbol you will find above the enter key, where you will find the backslash, just use the shift key and press the backslash and you will get this OR symbol. And then comes not. For not we use exclamation sign. I hope these are clear. There are some more operators like unary operators. For unary operators, we use plus plus, minus minus. We use assignment operator. This equal sign, the single equal is known as assignment operator because it assigns the value from right to left. And so these are operators. I will make another video for operators in which I will clearly describe everything. Now come to the separators. Separators are particular symbols which just separates the statements. For separating what we use, for separation we use particular symbols. For separator, uh, these are separators, separators. This point is known as separator. This is known as, sometimes we call it full stop in English, but proper word which we use for this symbol is period. This is known as period. Period sign. Comma we use as a separator. We use colon. We use semicolon. Semicolon is also known as line end statement. When the line will finish, we will make a semicolon. So these are known as separators. So already Prashant 9 sir, Arpit 10 a.m. As I'm also feeling it comfortable at 10 a.m. so I will be live on 10 a.m. 10 is okay. Okay, fine. 10 o'clock is better. I'm also thinking for the 10 o'clock. So are you all able to see this video properly? And if you are facing any problem watching it, just tell me in the comments. More people are saying 10 o'clock. That's why 10 o'clock will be there tomorrow. Okay, students, have a wonderful time. And tomorrow be available at 10 o'clock, and tell your friends also that your computer class is already going here on YouTube. And I will be available to you live. And this is really very good thing for you, that you can ask your questions, and I can give your answers, and I can clear your doubts. And I think this is the best way for attending the class, because you are not getting any trouble, you are not getting any disturbance by your friends. You are just only you and me are here. Okay, students, have a wonderful time. Goodbye.